All right, guys, we're back at the set where we caught the big beaver at yesterday. Made a down break and put the trap back in the water, and then this morning, I believe there's only a pair in here. I believe we got this second one this morning. Again, got it on the extension to this tree, and then you can see the guy right down there in the water. It's a pretty good size one too. Front foot catch on him. Bridger number 5 looks like. I'm gonna get him taken care of. I'm probably gonna go ahead and pull these traps. I got a new place set yesterday, about a 50-mile round trip from the house. So I'm gonna pull everything I got. I've been checking that away. I can just make that trip every day and get those places down there checked. All right, stay tuned. We should have some more beavers today. All right, guys, as I was pulling them traps, I noticed something I figured I'd show you. Right now, this ditch is still pretty well covered with ice. I don't know how well you can tell it on camera or not, but you can see those air bubbles that are underneath the ice. If you'll get out and check these ditches out when the ice is on, it'll tell you exactly where the beaver are. Right there on the other bank is a bank den, and those air bubbles are coming in and out of that bank den. You can tell right there at the entrance that it's not frozen, and that's where the beaver's been coming in and out, keeping the ice broke up. You can also see all the chew sticks that are around that hole, and then you can just follow those air bubbles and they'll show you what the beaver's been up to. So, hi guys, we're here at our next location. This is where I got set up yesterday afternoon. This is our first morning check, and we've got one beaver caught right here at this crossover. So, get him out of there and get it reset. All we're doing, we're not breaking these dams. We just got in here and first setting it up. So all we're doing is setting the crossovers that they're used to using anyway. So we'll either come in here and we'll put a foothold at the top of the crossover, or one of these 330 conibears at the bottom of it. And basically all we did yesterday was set this conibear right here at the bottom. We're just gonna reposition it back in here where we had it, secure it, make sure that your safeties are off. All we're doing is taking that stick and putting it through the spring, and then catching the corner of the trap and securing that stick down in the mud best we can. So like that, come back over here and rework this one. I'll just take a few of these sticks just to kind of funnel them right into our trap where we want them, so they don't go around it. I'm just going to take this big log here, and we're going to lay it right across the top of that trap. So they're going to dive to go underneath that log, and they'll go through our trap. So there's that set remade. Hang tight, I'll show you some more sets here in a minute. We should have some more catches on down here. All right guys, so here's a big picture of where we're at. Basically this big big water reservoir, and this right here is the intake of it. It goes all the way up here at about the end of this road, and that's where we just were, caught that first beaver. So as I've got probably 5 or 6 sets down through this ditch where it comes out to the edge of the lake, and there's a hut in here, and I'll show you that hut. I actually didn't place any traps around the hut right now. I like when I first come in here to try to catch them away from the hut, and then as we narrow them down, get most of them caught, then I'll come back in and place my traps right on the hut entrance. But doing it from the get-go, I think it scares them. They're coming in and out of there, noticing another beaver caught, and they'll get spooked and they'll hole up, not move around a lot. It just makes it harder to catch. All right, guys, you can see that levee over there in that drainage in the lake. Just on the other side of that drainage is where the water leaves the lake, and that ditch, and I've got a few traps set in that ditch too. What I find on these big reservoirs, usually on the intake, you'll have a colony of beaver living, and then also on the drainage ditch on the back end, you'll usually have a colony of beaver living, and you can trap both areas if you want to try to get all of them out of here. But I'm gonna get unloaded and get in here and check the rest of these sets that we've got. Alright guys, I'm in here in the middle of this ditch now. Basically the road's gonna cross this little slough intake ditch, this reservoir right up here, and the beavers had a dam set. That's where we caught that first beaver at. And then moving on down, show you what other sets we have right here. Right here on this point, we've got a drowning rod, and you can see we've got a beaver caught there. And then basically all I did was come in here and made a caster mound and splashed water up on this slide, made it look like a beaver had been coming in and out, and pulled up some mud from the bottom, made this fake caster mound here, and then I put some beaver caster lure on top of that mound. Had the trap sitting right under the water right here on this ledge that I had to create. It's probably about 4 foot deep right here. So it's too deep. We had to create that ledge to place our trap on. So get this beaver out of here and we'll get this set remade. Alright guys, here's what's nice about the drowning rods. If this beaver would have been caught in a live trap, he wouldn't have been in it when we got here today. We would have barely got him caught by toes. So being on a drowning set, he went down this rod and drowned before we could struggle enough to get out of this trap. But there's a good chance if he'd have been in one of our live traps, we wouldn't have had this beaver this morning when we got here. So, pretty healthy one there. Basically we'll get this trap reset. And this trap here is a Bridger number 5. Some of you guys were asking for me to tell you what type of traps I got. So basically this is a Bridger number 5. We've got it. Alright guys, so some of you guys were asking me to tell what traps I use, and this here is just a Bridger number 5, and I use them for beaver trapping. So we'll slide this back up this rod, get it shoved back down in the mud. And this is a really soft bottom. You want to make sure that you get that bottom secured good. If not, he can pull it up and and struggle. There we go. Take and secure this top end with a stake. And get our trap. Looks like that beaver might have bent this trap just a hair. And there we go. Right here's our, basically just a little flat spot that we kicked out of this side of this hill here. And we're just gonna place that trap, push it down in there secure, right under the water, just like that. Get our stake pushed down. I've got this little stick here. Basically, I'm just going to use it to put right beside that rod, and that way I'll know if my trap's gone. I'll have to climb down in here. We're just going to scoop some of this mud and debris off the bottom of this little channel here again. Pile it back up here. Take some water, splash, slick this hill off so it looks like a beaver's been sliding up and down it. And right there's our remake. We'll leave that beaver laying right there. Get some of our other sets checked. Right over here you can see got that crossover that they're using right here to go in this ditch. Then right over here the water's diverted around this little channel here, and we've got a 330 bogged down in that channel there. It's not been messed with. And then right here's a crossover that they've been using. Instead of going around that channel, they've been coming up this side, going down this side right here. And we've got a trap guarding it under the water right here on a drowning rod. It's still set there. I can see it's still set. So basically I've got a few more sets right up here in the channels around the edge of this lake. Carry this beaver back to the truck, and we'll get those checked. Alright guys, so right here we're at the edge of this lake. I'll walk over here and show you this hut. Where they're living. And they're gonna have bank dens around the edge of this lake too, but this will be their primary house here. So basically you're using these runs. There's still a little bit of ice on. You can see the bubbles under the ice. And when I set yesterday, all this was frozen and most of the activity was back up this intake. It didn't seem like there was a lot going down. But we basically got an entrance going into that hut here, another one coming in off that other side. And that was the two I found yesterday. Chances are there's probably another one on that front side. But like I said, I didn't set any of this because I don't want to get in here and spook them. I want to catch them all that I can away from the hut. And then as I get them caught out, I'll come in here and set this hut. We did set this channel right here. We've got another one. So this is the third one this morning. Basically, this log was laying here already and they had been using it. So I just come in here and place a 330 in that run. And since they were used to using it anyway, they didn't think anything about using it last night. And we got another one caught here. I'll get him out of here and get this place back in here just like we had it. And that trigger's bent just a little bit, so I'm gonna bend that back around. This here is just a Duke 330. Go ahead and take our safeties off. Place that directly underneath that log, just like that. Same thing we've been doing. We're just gonna take a stick, catch that corner of the trap, go down the spring, push it down as far as we can. Same thing on this side, just come in here. This is a bigger stick, so it's going to catch that spring on this side. So there we go, there's our set. Secure under there. They're used to using this anyway, coming under this log, so they'll go right through that trap, no problem. I'll leave him laying right there, and we got one more set right out here in this deeper run. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this, but let's see if anything happened here last night. Well, basically we got this run coming out of this hut, and this is going to be the main channel that they use going out into the lake. And got out here yesterday. There's a log underneath the water right here that I could see. So I got out there and placed a 330 where they go underneath that log. And this mud's really soft here. I'm sinking down to about my knee. So let's see if we can just pull it up here. We're going to go ahead and take this trap out of here. It's not going to be real efficient. It's going to be hard to get set that deep of water. So again, be mindful of these things whenever you're messing with them. Make sure that you get that those safeties set on there. So the trap won't spring and get you caught. So we got the safeties on there. Now I'm just going to reach right here between the jaws and push the trigger. Those jaws go away from my hand. I'm going to get that trap put up there. I just had it secured to this log here, so we're just gonna undo it from that log. And, always a good idea to go ahead and secure your traps instead of just throwing them in your basket or whatever, because these chains and wires will always be wrapped around everything. There we go. I was hoping for a few more beaver this morning, but we'll take 3. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets and 3 beavers, so that's not too bad. We'll get up here and get this guy carried out. Got to go set one more. It's a little bit smaller, but it's a reservoir lake in the same area here. Stopped by yesterday and looked at it. So I'm gonna get over there and get it set today before I head back to the house. And then we've got one more. Farmer's got some issues. It's about 10 miles from here. So we're gonna go over there and talk to him and see about getting that farm set also. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.